Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. If you're new here, my name is Russ, and on this channel we talk about Jeeps and all things off-road vehicle-based adventure. Now today we're going to be talking about the number one thing, the most important thing to have when you go off-road. Stay tuned. Now I know that there's somewhat of a friendly rivalry between like Jeeps and Buggies or Toyotas or Overlanders, hell, even like rock crawling versus gravel roads. But there is one thing that we all have in common, and that is, well, two things. One, our passion to get outside and hit the trails. Number two, we're all going to need recovery gear eventually. So no matter where, what, or how you wheel, there's eventually going to be a time where you're going to get stuck. Either stuck in the mud, hung up on the rocks. You're going to find yourself in a precarious situation. It happens to every single one of us eventually. So it's best to be prepared to not only be able to recover yourself, but also to have the necessary equipment to help somebody else you might come across on the trail. So first and foremost, and I've said this many times before, the most important piece of recovery gear that you can have on your rig is a winch. Now, make sure that you get one that is reliable and you keep it maintained. It's properly weighted for your vehicle, and yeah, it's not just for looks. So now, besides the winch, what else should you take with you out on the trail? Whether it's on the rocks or in the mud or an overland trail or whatever. What else should you take with you? Now, here is the bare minimum that I always keep with me in my rig. Alright guys, now that I actually have my recovery bag here opened up on the table, let me go through a couple of things. The first thing I want to talk to you about is obviously soft shackles. These things are super important. You can carry hard shackles as well, D-rings. They're this right here. But when you run these, you want to make sure that there is a working load limit, or at least a maximum or a minimum brake strength on it. And this one is 4 3/4 tons. So that works really well with my Jeep. So you want to make sure that whatever recovery gear that you are looking at looking at the maximum load limit or the working limit, and you're actually looking at the maximum and minimum brake strength. So for example, this is a soft shackle that I recently got from Rhino USA. I wanted to try their products out. So this is a 1/2 inch, and it says working load limit 15,416. And the maximum brake strength of 46,000. These soft shackles are super flexible. You can winch them onto roll bars or attach them to roll bars. You can actually use them as to connect extension points. The less amount of, or the smallest amount of metal that you can have in a recovery situation, it's usually the better. But you always have to think in any recovery situation, the weakest point is the weakest point. So make sure that you have good quality gear. I carry 4 soft shackles. I also carry a really good set of leather gloves. It just really helps. If they're form-fitting, it's even better. So I've got a couple of pair of gloves with me, some mechanic ones, but it's really good to have ones that are leather. Just really makes things a lot easier, gives you better grip, and protects a lot better than, like, say, nylon or anything like that. Let's see, a tree saver. I have one from Caraflex that I got several years ago. It's actually right here. This one is a 6 foot, and you guys are noticing, like, if you haven't already, a lot of this Rhino USA gear. Now, it's really important to keep an eye on your recovery gear as it starts to wear, gets used a lot, and believe me, my recovery gear has been used quite a lot. So you look for tears and rips and things like that. This Caraflex 6 foot tree saver is at least 3 inches wide, which is really what you want to help protect the trees. It's just old. It's fine. There's no rips or tears or anything, but I wanted to check out Rhino USA and what they have to offer. So instead of a 6 foot, I got a 10 foot strap. This one is 4 inches wide, so quite a lot better, or wider. Gives you a lot more grip on the tree and puts a lot less stress on the tree. So definitely a tree saver. A 20 foot non-kinetic tow strap. This is really good for extending out your winch line because it's not going to have any kind of stretch factor really, but it's mainly for extending your winch line to get to a winch point that's maybe stronger but a little bit farther away than your actual winch line is. That is primarily what I use these for. My other one got a big tear in it, so I picked one up from Rhino USA. Kinetic ropes. Kinetic ropes are awesome. They have, this one is actually from Rugged Ridge. This is an older one, and I was inspecting that. I don't know if you guys can see this, but it's starting to fray and tear again. This thing has seen a lot of use. It's been in the snow, it's been in the mud. Most recently at I think it was the Off-Road and Chill experience at Windrock. Pulled somebody out of the mud with this. It's super effortless, and because it's kinetic, it actually stretches about 25% and then actually helps you pull out whoever you need to pull out of that situation. If you can get a snatch block rated for whatever kind of winch line you have, these things are amazing. Not only it allows you to not do a straight line pull, it allows you to actually do angled pull. So if somebody's rolled over on their side but there's nowhere to get to them, you can actually winch from behind. Strap this with your tree saver and a soft shackle to a tree, and then winch them 90 degrees over, which is fantastic. Beyond that, you can actually double the pulling strength of your winch by taking this, sending it to a tree that's a shorter distance away, and then actually running your own winch line to yourself to help you recover with a lot less stress on the winch. So getting a snatch block like this, and I know there's a whole bunch of them on the market, but make sure to get a quality one and one that's actually rated for the type of winch line that you have. And lastly, guys, because I showed you that this kinetic rope that I absolutely love is starting to get frayed, I also picked up another one from Rhino USA. Now, yes, there's a lot of Rhino USA products here. I'm not sponsored by them. I was just running a local trail relatively recently, and I ran into one of the guys that works for them. We started talking about the gear and what they have to offer, so I decided to give them a try, knowing that it's about time for me to update my recovery gear anyway. So if you're looking to add to or build your own recovery kit to take out with you on adventures, you can go to blackbearoffroad.com. You can call the shop, talk to Brad or any of the other guys. They can set you up with a really great deal on any of the products, the recovery products you want, whether it's Warren, Rugged Ridge, any of those things. Or of course you can go to Rhino USA and check out their stuff. They have pre-made kits that are really readily assembled, I guess, or put together for you to keep the guesswork out of it, so you don't have to pick each little individual piece. They have some really good setups there for UTVs, ATVs, as well as Jeeps and even some heavier rigs. So if you're looking to do that, make sure to check them out as well. Now guys, I absolutely understand that there's a lot more recovery gear out there on the market. It doesn't matter really who you choose to go with, who you think is better. If it hits those requirements for you, what you like to do, where you like to wheel, and it's rated for your vehicle, I have absolutely no issue with it. So whether it's Warren or Rugged Ridge or Rhino USA, does not matter to me. I'm not trying to preach any particular product, but what I am trying to say is make sure you have the recovery gear with you. There are other things that you will want to take with you on the road or on the trail, but this is the bare minimum, that just in my opinion. Some extras that I always have with me too is differential fluid. I do have extra of that. I do have engine oil. I do have some electrical components like jumpers and fuses. Ever since a particular incident on Hurricane Creek a long time ago, that is a mainstay. I have a tire repair kit. I do carry a spare tire. If you don't carry a spare tire, that's fine. Make sure you at least have a tire repair kit, and know that those repair kits cannot fix every tire situation or flattened tire situation. So I always carry a spare. And again, there's so much more. So much more stuff that I can do that, because I feel that you cannot be over prepared. You can overthink things, but you can never be over prepared. So anyway, that's it for today. I really hope you're living life adventurously, and until next time, I will see you on the trail.